kind of like Ryan's, but we should move Palestine to Antarctica.
Yes. They want land. That's unplayed. They want unplayed land. They can have it. Give it to them.
It's like
You
a
wanted
little,
land, didn't you?
a little tiny island.
Can we throw out something realistic?
Cassie.
I think they should just all share land because it's not like they're like the war stops. It's not like they're gonna bomb themselves. That's great.
Okay, so I think Palestine should get the West Bank, move out of Gaza, and Israel gets Gaza. Jerusalem will remain neutral, and the West Bank will follow the Green Line proposed many years ago.
Oh, that was complicated a little bit.
But that's realistic.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got it though.
Okay, I think that since Palestinians want the land, but Israelis want Jerusalem, I think you should give Jerusalem to them, and then give them their own little smaller country, and give Palestinian to the bigger part. Split it in half.
I think like a lot of the land in Africa, no one really owns. Also, like maybe the Palestinians can move to like Madagascar. It's kind of the same kind of area.
How are Madagascarians going to feel about that?
I agree with
Well, that's some people that haven't been heard from.
Jamaica.
I feel bad with Jared's plan because if you think about it, if we give West Bank to who again?
I said West Bank will be Palestine then,
Okay.
and Gaza will go back to Israel,
So,
and Jerusalem stays neutral.
There's already Jewish settlements that are basically illegal in West Bank. If we move all the Palestinians in there, think about it, that'll probably make a lot of people mad. And think about it, there are probably a lot of casualties because people won't move out of there because they think it's their land and that's where they live forever. So that's where they should stay, which because they already have all those settlements, and then they'll try to fight over it, and I think it'll just get worse. So that's not good.
Okay. Dakota?
I think that Palestine's government, Israel's government should like talk. So which one has like the whole thing, and then like they can find cultures and like just try to rename the whole country.
I like what she said about combining the cultures, but the Palestinians should just realize that before it was called Palestine, it was Israel, and that the Jewish were there first. They should just kind of deal with the fact that that was how it was before. It shouldn't have to change.
I think it should be Israel because all these Arab countries have so much land, and so I don't think why they can't give a small amount to Israel if they have all the rest of those countries.
I've got a few things. One, why don't we just hire a counselor and just so we can find a way to just resolve the problems, just so they can talk it out. And two, what makes you think you want to move all kinds of settlers to Africa, Antarctica? They would just die of the extremely cold. It's like 50 below. And besides, why don't we just ask in Antarctica? And one more thing, why on earth would they just fight? Can't they just find a way to settle their problems by playing just games or just see which one is best? Like, why can't they just be a counselor just to help them resolve the problem? Just so they can make peace.
Keep going. Can you break it up?
Hello. Yep. Can I draw what I'm thinking on the board?
Okay,
Wait, does she have a laser pointer?
Sure.
Yeah, she has a laser pointer. Well, he's like Joel things.
Explain.
Turn your eyes attention.
Okay, so this isn't gonna be very accurate, and if this happens, it would look a lot different, but here's Israel, then they split Israel in half, so the Palestinians get this side and Israel people get this side. And also, since the Orthodox Jews are fighting, there's like this city right here where all the Orthodox Jews live so that they don't fight anymore with the other people. And then the Wailing Wall is in this city too. So other people can visit it, but they have to do like the Orthodox Jews rules. And then since the Dome of the Rock is important to both people, it's like right here, and then there are guards there too. And then anyone can go to that city.
One problem. Dome of the Rock and the Western Wall in the same spot. So put them in the same circle. So they have to, that spot where it's, yep, right there. Perfect, Olivia.
Are they like right next to each other?
Yeah. They're like, you can see one from the other.
Okay, well, like the Dome of the Rock can be right there.
Uh-huh.
And like right here, this is where the Orthodox Jews.
Okay. So are you like suggesting that maybe they should like even divide up the Jews, the really strict ones from the not so strict ones?
Yeah, and there could be a country like in the Arab part too.
For the more extreme and the not so extreme? All right. That's awesome. Keep it going.
I'm kind of thinking they should just knock it off and quit fighting because they're just going to lose more people. And it's just kind of worthless because we're funding them. And if they can fix the problem, we can stop funding. It just seems really dumb to me. So what's the big point? You're fighting over land. And you can just simply cut it.
Who haven't we heard from yet that needs to have their voice be heard?
Since they both want this land, what they could easily do is combine their governments, and they could easily, the governments could talk a lot more easily, and then they could share the land, and it probably wouldn't be as much of a problem if they had to share a government.
I think there's only practically one way. This isn't very humane, but there's only one way to make sure a lot of people get out in one small area at a time, is to threaten to bomb them. Oh my gosh. Nobody wants to get bombed. So I think telling them that we're going to bomb is going to make them probably move out of there. And so then they, like, we'll tell them, you get West Bank or we bomb West Bank. And so then they're like, okay, we want West Bank, so then you don't bomb us. So it's like, or they can go to Hawaii. Yeah, or they can go to Hawaii.
So if who are we trying to get out of West Bank?
Well, it's
Who are you saying needs to leave West Bank?
Israel.
Okay, so
They have their own land. We'll bomb the rest of Israel if you don't go back to your own.
Palestinians, we'll tell you the day it's going to happen, so get under cover.
Yeah. Well, like, so everybody just, like, make it a ghost town so that all the Israelites are, oh, okay, we can just stay here.
Oh my gosh.
What if they bomb you first, Jake?
Cassie.
I don't think they should have technology. I don't think we should pick a side because it's like having a toy when you're little and then like having a little kid come along and then they want that toy and they take it, but then the other person wants it back and they want it, so it's not really fair to give it to one of them. So, and I also don't think it would be right to split it because they're gonna like have war and try to gain more and more